So on this page, we have information about using remote desktop and SolidWorks. So remote desktop, you can just use the Windows, just use the remote desktop and go to windows.wpi.edu, and you'll be able to access MathCAD and MATLAB. You can also access SolidWorks there, but this machine, the Frame VDI, is a much more powerful machine for running SolidWorks. So that would be what you'd want to use. So you have the choice of either installing it on your own computer, and the instructions for doing that are given here. I found that I had to try the download a number of times, and I had to use RoboCopy to actually get it to work. And then um, I'm just trying to test it out to see how much difficulty students might have. And I downloaded it on an older computer I have at home, and it took a while to download, and then I was having some graphics cards issues. So if you have a really powerful, fast new computer, then you might want to just install the SolidWorks on your own machine. The serial number that you have to use is given in the instructions here. On the other hand, if you don't have a real powerful computer, you might be better off just using this Frame VDI. So I just want to go through the process of actually connecting that to your OneDrive so that you have access to your files. Because when you're on this machine, it's located at WPI, and when you sign off, you lose anything that's saved on that particular computer. So you want to be able to save stuff to OneDrive. So let's just go through how to load this. And so you want to use Frame VDI. Just click on this button over here, and then you want to sign in with WPI login. And I'm already logged in here, so click on desktop. Yeah, so I actually paused the video. It is taking a little bit of time to log in here. All right, so now we're on the machine here, and you can see it says the virtual machine will disappear when your session disconnects. Please save your work to your computer or OneDrive. So here we have SolidWorks 2020, and down over here you can see that you can upload files. But the problem with doing that is you have to upload them. If you have a large assembly, you have to select all the files that you need, and then you have to remember to save them, and then you have to decide if you're going to override them or not when you put them back on your own computer. So I think the better thing to do is just to go ahead and open up SolidWorks. Okay, so now SolidWorks is open, and then if you want to work on your assembly or your parts, just hit the open folder there, and you can see that there's a OneDrive, but there's nothing in it. Okay, so that's not connected to your OneDrive at this point. So what I find the easiest thing to do is just to right-click on it and then select Open in New Window. Okay, and then you wait just a minute, and then it brings this up. So now you can put in your own email address. Okay, and then it's going to ask you for your password, and you're going to have to send it will send a code to your cell phone. Okay, so so after you log in, you get these windows, and I'll just go through and select next, 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 and later, and open my OneDrive. So now I can just close these. But over here on the open window for SolidWorks, now I have my own OneDrive. So I'm just using this as an example here. So now let's see, I'll go to this project right here and and go ahead and open up this assembly. Okay, so now I have this assembly open, and this is just a model that I'm playing around with a little bit of the field, and I'm just going to shut off the shadows and the real-time graphics, real view graphics. And yeah, so now you can see this works pretty well. You know, I have a somewhat moderately complicated assembly here, and I can, you know, do different things. It scrolls pretty quickly. You know, I can move different stuff around here. So so I think, you know, this machine works pretty well. The one thing that you do have to do though is if, like, I don't particularly like the way this the environment is set up here, so I usually fly that out, hit the little pin there, and then go to tools, and let's see, yeah, go to customize, and then so if I'm going to use the assembly, I usually don't like that command manager on. So this is just your own personal preference. But the problem is, so like if I want to put on just the toolbars that I'm interested in using right now, so let's see, sketch. I like standard views, and I'm going to turn off task panes, task panes. And so now I have the environment set up the way I want to, you know, with just the toolbars that I have. But I have to do that, it only takes a minute, but I have to do that every time I log into this machine because it's not going to remember the settings that I had. The other thing is under the different options. So for instance, one of the things you're going to learn when you go through the SolidWorks tutorials is that you can set up your own templates and sheet formats and then set the file locations. But again, that has to be done each time. So like for instance, if I want to add, so I would have to go to here. I have the sheet formats under this, right, the templates right there. So I'm going to select that folder. And then if I want to do the sheet formats, right there, and I'm going to add and go back to sheet formats, select that. Okay, and now let's see if I can do this. So this is a little bit, you can see I can't get down to the button where I can say save. So one of the things you have to be aware of with this is sometimes you have to change the resolution. So let me change, let's see if I change it to here. All right, so now I can select, you know, OK and accept those settings. So now I have access to my templates. So, you know, again, it's not a big deal. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes just to, I'm just going to set this back to dynamic now. So there's a little quirky things. Like I said, sometimes you have to reset the resolutions just for some of the dialogues boxes. For some reason, you can't get to some of the buttons if it's, you might not have that problem at all. I know I'm running like off a second monitor off my laptop right now. But anyways, so now the nice thing is any changes I make to this, I'll just hit save when I'm done, and they'll go on to my you know, these files are all coming off my OneDrive. I don't have to remember which ones I need to save or which ones I uploaded, and now I need to download back to my OneDrive. So that's why I would really recommend that you do it that way. You know, just go ahead and open SolidWorks, click on the open folder, and then right click on the OneDrive, and then you can log into your own OneDrive, work on all the files from there, and when you hit save, they're saved right back to your OneDrive. So anyways, I think this is a pretty good solution though, especially if you don't have a really powerful computer. And then this box comes up pretty often here, free up space, and I'll just hit dismiss on that. But anyways, you know, when you're done, if I hit save here, and I can get out of SolidWorks, I don't need to save anything. and then you can just hit this button down here, and then just go ahead and close your session. Okay.